Ethiopia is not just a country. Ethiopia is a story that began before most of the world even knew how to write history. Long before modern nations were formed, long before empires rose and fell across Europe and Asia, Ethiopia already existed as a civilization with its own identity, culture, and power. When people talk about ancient Africa, Ethiopia is always part of the conversation. And when people talk about origins, Ethiopia stands at the center of many of them. This land, located in the Horn of Africa, is often called the cradle of humanity. Not as a metaphor, but as a fact supported by science. Some of the oldest human fossils ever discovered were found in Ethiopia, including the famous fossil known as Lucy, who lived more than 3 million years ago. This means that modern humans can trace part of their earliest story back to Ethiopian soil. Before cities, before kingdoms, before borders, human life itself was already walking these lands. But Ethiopia's story does not end in prehistory. In many ways, that is only the beginning. Thousands of years ago, Ethiopia was home to one of Africa's greatest ancient civilizations, the Kingdom of Aksum. Aksum was not a smaller isolated kingdom. It was a global power of its time. Aksum traded with Rome, Persia, and India. Its gold coins were used across vast regions of the ancient world. And its influence stretched far beyond the borders of modern Ethiopia. Even today, the remains of Aksum still stand. Massive stone obelisks, carved from single pieces of rock, tower into the sky. Some of them weigh hundreds of tons. No one fully understands how these stones were transported or erected without modern machinery. Yet they remain standing, silent witnesses to Ethiopia's ancient greatness. Religion also played a major role in shaping Ethiopia's identity. Ethiopia was one of the first countries in the world to officially adopt Christianity. This happened in the 4th century, long before most of Europe became Christian. Because of this, Ethiopia developed a unique Christian tradition, different from those found elsewhere. Deep in the highlands, there are churches carved directly into solid rock. Not built with bricks. Not assembled piece by piece. But carved downward into the earth itself. The rock-hewn churches of Lalibela are among the most astonishing religious structures on the planet. Each church was carved from a single block of stone, with incredible precision. To this day, pilgrims travel long distances to worship there. And the churches remain active places of prayer, not just historical monuments. But Ethiopia is also deeply connected to Islam. Some of the earliest followers of the Prophet Muhammad found refuge in Ethiopia when they were persecuted elsewhere. The Ethiopian king at the time welcomed them and offered protection. Because of this, Ethiopia holds a respected place in Islamic history as a land of refuge and tolerance. Few countries in the world can claim such deep connections to both Christianity and Islam, existing side by side for centuries. Language is another powerful part of Ethiopia's identity. Ethiopia has its own ancient script, known as Ge'ez. Unlike many African countries that adopted foreign writing systems, Ethiopia developed its own. Even today, Ethiopia uses unique alphabets for languages like Amharic, Tigrinya, and others. This makes Ethiopian writing instantly recognizable and deeply symbolic of independence and continuity. Speaking of independence, Ethiopia holds a rare and powerful position in African history. It is one of the only African countries that successfully resisted European colonization. In 1896, Ethiopian forces defeated an invading European army at the Battle of Adwa. This victory shocked the world. At a time when much of Africa was being divided and controlled by foreign powers, Ethiopia stood its ground. That victory became a symbol of African resistance and pride far beyond Ethiopia's borders. Even today, the green, yellow, and red colors of Ethiopia's flag have inspired the flags of many African nations. Ethiopia also operates differently from much of the world in everyday life. The country follows its own calendar. A calendar that is about 7 years behind the Gregorian calendar used elsewhere.
Ethiopia also uses a unique time system. Instead of starting the day at midnight, it begins at dawn. So, when Ethiopians say it's 1 o'clock, they might be referring to what others would call 7 in the morning. This system is not obsolete or symbolic. It is actively used in daily life. Ethiopian culture is rich, profound, and proudly preserved. Music, dance, clothing, and food reflect ancient traditions that have survived into the modern era. Ethiopian cuisine is unlike any other. Meals are often shared from a single large plate, using injera, a spongy flat bread, instead of utensils. Eating together is not just about food. It is about connection, trust, and community. Coffee also plays a special role in Ethiopian life. According to legend, coffee was first discovered in Ethiopia by a goat herder who noticed his goats becoming energetic after eating certain berries. Today, coffee is not just a drink in Ethiopia. It is a ceremony. The coffee ceremony is a deeply respected tradition that brings people together. It is slow, intentional, and meaningful. Ethiopia's landscapes are just as diverse as its history. From towering mountains and fertile highlands to deserts and volcanic regions, the country offers dramatic contrasts. The Simien Mountains rise sharply into the clouds, creating some of the most breathtaking views in Africa. At the same time, the Danakil Depression is one of the hottest and most extreme places on Earth. These environments have shaped how people live, farm, and survive across the country. Ethiopia is also known around the world for athletic excellence. Many of the greatest long-distance runners in history come from Ethiopia. Names like Haile Selassie and Tirunesh Dibaba are known far beyond Africa. Their dominance in global competitions has made Ethiopia synonymous with endurance and resilience. Despite facing challenges such as poverty, conflict, and political change, Ethiopia remains a country of strength and continuity. Its identity is not borrowed. It is built from thousands of years of history. Ethiopia does not just exist in the modern world. It carries the ancient world within it, from humanity's earliest footsteps to powerful kingdoms. From sacred traditions to modern achievements, Ethiopia stands as one of the most remarkable nations on earth. It is a country that does not simply tell history, it lives it. And the more you learn about Ethiopia, the more you realize that some stories are too deep to be summarized. They must be experienced.
Ethiopia reminds us that Africa is not just a place of struggle, it is a place of deep history, resilience, and greatness. These stories matter, and they deserve to be told. If this video taught you something new, subscribe to support African storytelling. Share it so others can learn the truth about our history. More powerful African stories are coming.